YouTube, what's happening? It's your boy Mr. Glade up at you, man. Another video. And this we do a little bit different today, man. I know some people be out there wondering how can they get started in trucking, especially when they got blemishes on they record, you know, mainly felonies. I really don't know a whole lot about, DUIs and things like that. But felonies, I got a few of those. But I was still able to get into trucking, man. It did take me a while. In my situation, man, I had a suspended license in like 2 states. So that was the first step. I had to get through those, pay everything, wait the little time limits. Then after that, you gotta wait like another year or so before you can even go. I was told to wait about a year before some companies would take me, if they did take me. It was a while, nobody was really biting. So, one way to do it, man, is just to stack your bread up. Like if you really trying to get in this trucking, it's really rewarding, man. So I really think it's worth it, to make that investment. You gotta invest in yourself, so whatever that take, man. In my case, I just stacked up, I stacked up a little bread, and I was gonna put myself through a school. But that's when then the pandemic hit, Before the pandemic, I was supposed to be in a school. I was actually working at an aircraft plant, and so I was saving up my vacation, man, and the damn aircraft plant then shut down. We had a bang of layoffs, so I get laid off. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So whatever, I enrolled in a school, man, and then the pandemic hit. Now there's no school, so I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. And I tried another school I was gonna try, and they taught a little bit less, but it was cheaper. So I'm like, okay, let me go take this. I was kind of in a rush, so I'm trying to move. They end up having a little waiting list, and then by time it was getting close for my shit, everything was like for real closed down. So that postponed that, man. So what I did, I just got my little bread. I went, man. I actually went asking, man. I bugged a lot of companies, all of the majors. I called them, man. I even had some of them like Prime. I remember them, the dispatcher, well, not the dispatcher, but the the recruiter getting an attitude with me. I guess I called too soon. I had talked to him about a year after my license, was renewed. So then, I didn't remember when they told me to call back. It was just I gave it some time, and I started calling people back. So I called back. The recruiter kind of got a little attitude, like, I told you such and such amount of time, whatever. So whatever, I pretty much was like, okay, fuck you, So then a lot of places was telling me, wait a little more time, give it a little more time. Everybody wanted time. So shit, I'm impatient. That's what got me on the, that's what got me on the other path in the first place, So I just went and I knocked on some local companies' doors, like, hey, you'll train me. In the process of that, what I did, one guy told me he would train me if I got my permit. I had already been studying. I got the little CDL app on my phone. I got the book. I didn't look at the book too much, but a little bit. But that app, man, that app is where it's at. So I suggest getting that app, man. That app it's pretty much just like the test, So get that app and study it, man. Just do it on repeat. That's all I did. When I got my permit. Once you get your permit, now they can teach you. So pay a little bread. Gotta let me practice, I just practice around this yard. And then I got another call from this guy, I just like, hey, I had applied, some months ago. And so he finally, I guess, needed some drivers. So give me a call like, yo, you still looking? I'm like, well, yeah, actually, I'm training with somebody right now. So he was like, man, I'll train you, pay you for while we ain't training. And then, you just work for me for a little bit. So I'm like, okay, bet. So that's what I did, man. I got started. He was like a little 1 truck, 2 truck operation, man. And, my first time, shit, we hit to Houston, man, 8 o'clock at night. Okay, let's go. We rode to Houston, and that was my first trip. And kind of showed me, how to plan out the trips a little bit. Showed me how to, book your loads. So that was probably, a little insight I got to get that a major company wasn't gonna give me anyway, So that was kind of cool. Only thing about some of these smaller companies, like old boy just wasn't, he wasn't that great about his finances, Like I got stuck out somewhere, no fuel, I'm having to take the little EFS checks to get my paycheck, and part of the check here, part of the check there, And so, loyalty is one thing, but shit, holding up my progress is another. So, I moved on to another company. It was another small company, man, and percentage-wise, it was great, I was getting the first company, 24% of the loads. Second company, 32. So that wasn't bad, especially starting off. Like under 6 months experience, you kind of can't beat that. So and then weekends off, I was home every weekend. So I got stranded when Houston got stuck in all that ice, man. The fuel was freezing, whatever. The whole city shut down, roads were shut down. So after that, man, I take these off, man. Shit. After that, I finally got to rolling again, man. It took about a week. I get to rolling and boom, man, my motor go out, So long story short, man, truck need a rebuild. Waiting on the rebuild. I was probably out of work for like a month and a half, almost 2 months. And I got another job. It was with not a major company, but a decent sized company. And I think he had about 75 trucks. They had a KC, man. It was kind of cool until they got the bullshitting at the end, especially when I decided I wanted to lease. I decided I wanted to lease on, so I come to, I get to talking to a couple companies. And, that company I was at, they paying me 48 cents a mile. And I'm like, damn, I ain't even make this little when I'm starting off. So, of course, I'm going to move up. So, I don't know, I guess they got salty about that. Whatever, man. I ain't going to shit on the company, but buckle, So, now I'm about, 7-8 months into driving, man. And, I'm leasing on a dedicated. I'm supposed to call back Monday. Hopefully this coming Monday, man. I'm off this dedicated, man. It might work for some people, but it's not a true dedicated. Because I don't have a certain route. Like I thought, a dedicated to me, man, this is your route, this is your lane. This dedicated, I'm just on a Tyson account. So that's the only difference. And, it's like a guaranteed amount each week, but I'm just like, that's for people that want to play it safe. I say this is a good route to lease because you got your truck payment, then they give you a certain amount each week. But I'm a go-getter, so I'm like, I don't like to be limited. I don't like to be. It's cool. Like I said, some people like to play it safe, but shit, I dance with the devil, So I like to try my luck, man. If I know that there's a chance to make more, that's where I'm after, That's the route I'm going. So that's what I'm doing. So hopefully this next week, after my home time, hopefully I'm coming back and then I'm on, just regular OTR, Regular OTR. I've been hearing some pretty good things here, Hirschbach, about the OTR as far as the money, I done had a couple of run-ins with the dispatch here, but I think sometimes people don't understand drivers and they get to taking their job too serious, and then I'm not that one to sit there and tuck my tail. So, mean, two wrongs don't make a right. I guess you clash a little bit because of that though, but shit, I'm always speak my mind, you know. So I don't like when people, I just wish that these companies would be straight up. Oh, that's one major thing, piece of advice I'm gonna put out there. Don't never listen to these motherfucking recruiters, man. These recruiters gonna tell you whatever they want. Think of a recruiter as a dude, an 18-year-old trying to get some cut on Friday night. He gonna tell that girl anything she want to hear so he can get that, you know. And that's what these recruiters do, you know. This recruiter I had here, man, I ain't gonna say he too bad. He kind of bent the truth a little bit, but you know, he ain't too bad. Just to be real, man. The orientation team was cool, and the recruiter was kind of cool. But there's a couple things like the dedicated thing. You know, I was under the impression I'd be home every weekend. That's the only reason I did dedicated. If not, I would have just started OTR off the rip, you know. But like dedicated is this, you know. You got to guarantee that you're going to at least make this, but you can make more. But I'm like, you know, those is two major things that ain't necessarily true on this account. On this account, no, it's this set amount, and it's not dedicated as far as where you're going. It's dedicated on as far as whose stuff you hauling. So that's a major difference. Like things like that, you need to inquire about. Inquire about when they say dedicated. What do you mean by dedicated? Dedicated, is it a certain lane? Is it a certain you know, company that I'm hauling for? Regional, OTR, the leasing, man. Just make sure everything's specific. Make them talk to you like a 3-year-old. You talk to them like a 3-year-old. Not disrespectfully, I mean, but I mean, as far as putting everything in layman's terms. You want to be simple. Don't give me no bullshit. Don't run around. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Just be straight up, because you know we got lives as truckers too. We got outside lives. There's things we need to plan for, and I can't correctly plan sometimes if you telling me some false information. So you know, just to kind of cover yourself, man, make sure you always ask. Make sure you always ask. And then another thing I did too, man, you got to talk to the truckers, man, at work, because I mean they gonna tell you anything. Of course they work for the company, so they gonna up it all day. Which I mean, you know, in a way you can only expect that, but in a way, you know, like shit, you want me to be real with you when I'm telling you where I'm at, or if I'm telling you, okay, this load gonna be here, but by this time you expect me to be truthful. So in my eyes, I feel like, well, shit, you need to be truthful to me. But I guess we don't all see it that way. You can't have everything perfect, you know. That's cool, whatever, you know. But just man, believe only a portion of what they say, man, because they will tell you some false information, or they'll bend the truth. That's what I'll say, because mine left it kind of cloudy. I ain't gonna say he just lied, my recruiter. I ain't gonna say he just lied. Kind of did, but I'm gonna just say, you know, he bent the truth a little bit, or left the truth kind of cloudy. But it's whatever, you know. Just help me fix it, man. That's cool. I know you got a job to do, so you know, I don't hate them. I don't take it personal. Hopefully with the dispatch thing, man, they can get right. You know, that was another thing. I didn't get to go home. I flew out there to the terminal, you know, and so I didn't get to take a lot of stuff, and some of my hygiene I couldn't even take on the plane. I had to throw it away. So you know, I had to, you know, get new stuff when I'm there, and then, you know, I only had a bag, so I don't have my microwave. I don't have, you know, like my coffee cups, my, you know, things you need on the road. So they were trying to send me out. Then I needed to do some things at home, you know, like during business hours things, you know, you need to go to some places, you know, my bank, and my this, my that. They wasn't sending me, you know, it was a little rough getting home, I'd say, you know. That's all. And that's another thing to be prepared for. Sometimes these fools don't want to let you get prepared. So if you can drive, get dropped off, take a rental car. That way you can take everything you need, because man, shit, after orientation, man, they ain't worried about if you need to get home. They want they freight moved, you know, which, you know, in a way I don't blame them, but in a way I do, because it's like, why wouldn't you want your driver 100% comfortable? Why wouldn't you want him 100% prepared on that road? So, you know, that's kind of a thing. Whatever. Probably ain't no change in that, but what you can do is be more aware of yourself, and you can be a little bit prepared. So get a rental if you can. In my case, I couldn't get a rental because they was all gone in my area, you know what I'm saying? So I had to fly and take that much on the plane. But I thought, you know, I was under the impression that I was gonna get to come right back home. So, and I was gonna be off on the weekends, which neither one of those was true. So I wasn't able to prepare. I didn't have no clothes, you know. It was kind of uncomfortable. So other than that, you know, I mean, the company's cool. The equipment here is cool at Hirschbach. I'm in Hirschbach, by the way. I don't know if I said that, but the equipment here is cool. I got a 2019 Kenworth. This thing got a lot of Kenworths left, but it's cool. I learned to drive on a Kenworth. These is automatics. I think all their trucks is automatic, but I really don't mind automatics. You know, I learned on a 13 speed, but shit, automatic is easy, man. You know, why not make it easy on yourself? So I ain't got no problems with driving an automatic, man. It's easy. Other than that, man, just stay clean. I don't know. I think one guy might have had an issue with the hair follicle test. I know here you take a piss test and a hair follicle test, you know. And I don't know. One guy didn't come back pick up his truck. I don't know if that's necessarily it, or if they just, you know, sometimes it just take a little bit longer. So I don't know if that was the case or what. But make sure you clean, man. You know, I mean, I used to smoke too, man. That's whatever. But be about your money. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have money than be high. That's for damn sure, you know. So, you know, get the plan out the way. The mission always comes first, man. Smoking, drinking, all that's leisure, man. You know, worry about that shit afterwards, man. A lot of people kind of ruin their life. I did it too. You know, I used to didn't want to take good jobs because I'm like, man, I can't stop smoking, blah blah blah. But you really ain't about your bread if you can't stop smoking to get some bread. That's just 100. You know, you can't argue that. Really about your bread, people will be like, I'm about my bread no matter what, but you can't stop smoking, you know, like, come on, man, you know. So just a little advice out there for that, especially if you're a felon, man. Like, I already know, man, you know, I got shit, tattoos on my face, you know, these dreads. When I went in there looking at, you know, people look at you crazy, they already expect you to fail a piss test, you know, but I ain't failing no piss test, man, you know. So you know, when you got marks against you already, you got to make sure that all your T's is crossed, your I's dotted, because they're going to try to get you for anything, or they already going to have a watchful eye, man. So you can't give them a reason to use that against you. You're like, okay, yeah, I got this, but bam, you know, there go another dude. You wanted to hire him, but he couldn't pass a drug test, you know. So be on your square with that, man. Be ready. Just be ready to rock and roll when you get on these trucks. Probably the biggest thing, just out of general advice too, man, just don't expect them to be truthful to you, man. The only thing that they gonna be truthful about is where that load needs to be picked up and where it needs to be dropped off. Expect that and you won't be disappointed, because if you're expecting these people to get you home when you want to, you're gonna be disappointed. If you're expecting them to always have your back, you're gonna be disappointed. Man, I done been stranded in a whole nother city and state 3 times, man. The last time I got stuck in Atlanta, man. The company, man, my truck broke down. It was a Peterbilt, man, and I had to go to the Peterbilt dealership. Dealership wouldn't touch it because the company then took off the DEF system, man. So I'm just stuck out there. They trying to get me to fix it, you know, and I'm like, I ain't fixing nothing, you know. I drive. I do my pre-trip, I do my post-trip, but I drive. You know, I'm not a mechanic. You hire some mechanics for that. You know, don't let them trick you into doing all this extra stuff unless they gonna pay you. You know, compensate me. You gotta think of it too, like, okay, y'all don't want to give me my home time. Y'all don't want to make life easier for me. So what the hell? I mean, it's just business. When I'm asking for a favor, I gotta follow a protocol. That's business. So you make them follow a protocol with you, you know. We CDL drivers, I'm not your mechanic. I mean, if it's your truck, or, you know, if they really just taking care of you, man, and you know they got your back, then, I mean, do them a favor, you know. But most of the time that ain't it, man. So yeah, they was trying to get me to fix a part, change a pedal or something. I'm like, man, I ain't doing all that. So they just left me stranded. Hotel ran out. They expected me to pay for the hotel. So luckily I had a homeboy out there in Atlanta, man, and he had took me in, scooped me up, and I hopped on the bus from the crib, man, or to the crib. And but I mean, shit, if I didn't know nobody out there, it would have been kind of tough. So speaking of that, man, that's another point within a point, man. Make sure you have money, because if you go in that situation and you ain't got no money and you get stranded somewhere, man, that's tough. Because this happened to me before, and man, that's tough. So make sure you got some bread put away. That way, if you need to get a rental yourself, if you need to get a hotel yourself, I mean, sometimes they, depending on where you at, they not gonna help you, man. So make sure you help you. Don't expect these companies to do nothing, and you won't be disappointed. Another thing, especially for the felons, man, like when you getting started, like my whole thing was I was about to, okay, of course I was trying to get my CDL on my own. So my first game plan was like, look, I know Trans Am will take me, or what's that, the other company, well, there's a couple little starter companies, man, where they'll take about anybody. Express, is it? I can't think of the name right now, but shit, there's a couple companies that might take you, but they gonna pay you like crumbs, But honestly, man, it's worth it. Like, if ain't nobody taking you, man, especially if you got felonies, Trans Am will take you. Shit, go to Trans Am, man. Go to whoever gonna take you, man. And if they paying you $400, people cry about that $400-500 a week, man, so what? Take that shit and rock. Get your experience, because after about 6 months, that's when people gonna start calling you like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then, me looking at everybody else, it looks like a year to 2 years is when your options just, drastically grow. But I say they grow even after 6 months. After 6 months, I'm getting calls from companies, emails from companies almost on a daily, So just chill out for a while, man. Gain experience, learn how to drive that truck, learn them routes. Pick anybody's brain you can, man. These old drivers out here love to give information, so chop it up with them, man. Some people might not even look friendly. Don't let them looks fool you, you know what I'm saying? Some of these cats out here might have a certain scowl on their face, but ask them about trucking, man, and they open up like a book, which is cool, because that only helps you, man. So soak up all the info you can. That's what I've been doing right now. Just soaking up info, learning maneuvers with this truck, man. I done been stuck a couple times, and those is the ways where you gonna really learn how to maneuver these trucks. When you stuck, or you in a situation where you got to move, you got to, get yourself out, you'll make a way. If you got that kind of mind, some people on some scary shit, but I'm a go-getter, and shit, you gotta be a go-getter in this business anyway. If you not, man, just go get you a desk job or something. This ain't it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Take some initiative, grab your nuts, man. If you're a man the fuck up. If you're a woman, man, get your big girl panties on. This ain't here to be no pansy, Shit, sleep, all the luxuries of a lot of people got, man. Just kind of suck that shit up, man. But you gotta also think the kind of pay we be getting too as truckers, So like, with your ups comes your downs. You got some pros, you got some cons, but you gotta work. You just gotta work with it, If you know that everything ain't gonna be perfect, man, if you have that mindset, you'll be all right. You're gonna constantly grow. Every day is a learning experience. Every day you're gonna learn something different. Just learn it up, and take it like that, man. Don't never let nobody tell you can't do this or that, because people told me, you'll never get a job, or you're off on the weekends. Okay, they say that, but my first two, I started like that. People told me, you can't get in the truck as a felon, you can't do this, you can't, shit, make it happen, certain things you can't, it's just the rules. But if you're a felon, man, you can definitely get in trucking. You can make corporate money without being a corporate person, man, and that's my whole thing. I want that money, but obviously I'm not a corporate type dude, so I don't feel like you gotta be. I'm showing that you ain't gotta be. Right now, I'm on this leasing thing. Within the next 2 years, I plan to have a fleet of 3 to 5. You know, so that's the goal. You should always have some goal, even if it's a company driver. Just stack your bread. Have a goal to stack so much each month, each week, each month, each year. You know, it don't matter what your goal is. Everybody got different goals. Everybody don't want to be a fleet owner. Everybody don't want to be an owner operator. Everybody don't, you know, shit. But that don't mean that you can't be successful. I mean, there's people that's company drivers that got more bread stacked up than these owner ops. You know, so shit, you just do your thing, stick with your game plan, and you gonna be A1. You know, just like anything else in life. With this trucking shit, it's pretty rewarding. It's pretty cool. I'm still new to this company, man, so I'm gonna kind of keep my journey going with this company to see how they gonna be, man. My whole thing is to try it, stick with it. You know, finish off this lease at the very least. I'm gonna complete it, and you know, see where it take me from there. So, man, keep rocking with me, man. We're gonna be on the fitness tip too at the same time. So watch out for the next video. We doing workouts daily though. So don't think just because I don't post every day, don't think I ain't working. One thing, if you're following me, man, shit, let's stay motivated. Every day we hit 100 push-ups, 100 squats, very least, man. So hit that, make that your goal. Let's rock. All right, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.